Stephen A. Smith, and he posted it. He gets that. That is a mashup of Stephen A. Smith and Snoop Dogg.
Oh, wow.
What now? Had I not? He did put the handle Snoop Dogg up.
Wow.
Had I not told you, would you have realized it was Snoop Dogg?
No, I thought that was Stephen A. and Mike Epps.
Okay.
I would have put them two together. Look at it.
Now that you look at it, though, it's definitively Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, you know, look at that hairline, though.
Yeah, well,
Stephen A. is my man, but that hairline, he got to do something about it. And listen, he could go down to Atlanta, and they're doing crazy things with hair now. He could put his hair in, and he could he got to do something. I can't keep looking at. He's my guy, but I can't keep looking at that.
Tell me more about this, if you will. What exactly is it they can do down there? I don't know much about this.
Well, they're putting hair on top of bald people's head. They are gluing it down, and then the barber comes in, he cuts it up. Listen, I meant to say it when Karan Butler was here. He had it. We got to show it tomorrow, for real.
Okay. You're a national treasure.
Yeah.
Who wins tonight?
The Warriors!
We'll see.
Go Warriors!
Right. And my apologies to Stephen A. Smith for the commentary of Damon Jones.
That's
here.
my guy.
His show starts next. It's
my guy.
First Take. We'll see you tomorrow.
Get up.
First Take back in Toronto for the NBA Finals. Can the Raptors close it out tonight and bring the first chip ever to Canada? Or will Kevin Durant return, and will the series shift back to the Bay? Let the drama begin. First Take starts right now.
If we didn't feel like we could be here, we wouldn't be here right now.
The Raptors get the victory here in Game 1.
We're down 0-1, but it's not the end of the world.
If winning the championship isn't enough motivation for you, then you got other issues.
Iguodala puts it up. It's good.
No one cared that guys are hurt.
Danny Green for three. Bang! He took advantage of the undermanned Golden State Warriors.
Everybody wants to see us lose.
It's all Toronto tonight.
It doesn't matter until you get that fourth win. Just have to stay confident in ourselves and see how it plays out.
Championship on the line. These fans are ready to go, that is for sure. Happy to be back here in the 6 with my guys, Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing?
Good. Guys, there's a game of sports and there's the game of life, and the game of life far outweighs sports. And I have some serious news I want to share with you this morning. To begin the show, beloved former Red Sox superstar David Ortiz is out of surgery and doing fine, according to his family. Authorities say Ortiz was ambushed by a man and shot in the back at nearly point-blank range at a club in the Dominican Republic. Doctors say that Ortiz is out of danger, but he is heavily sedated and in intensive care. So our thoughts and prayers, of course, are with him. Stephen A., anything you want to share on the matter?
Well, I'm just thankful that he's going to be okay. You know, we can talk about the 541 career home runs and the career 286 batting average and the 3 World Series champions and being given a tremendous assistance to erasing that curse that existed with the Boston Red Sox. But like you said, this is not about the game. It's about the game of life. And the reality is that violence seems to be everywhere. And for some inexplicable reason, you know, you can't get rid of the ignorant. You can't get rid of the evil. We hope, not just as American citizens, but Canadian citizens, the world over, as just human beings, that you could ultimately eradicate this from our society. But unfortunately, no matter where you turn, evil just seems to be everywhere. And for this man, somebody to shoot this man in the back, you're talking about a guy, Max, that is philanthropic, very charitable with his time, his energy, his efforts, particularly to those in the Dominican Republic. One of my best buddies, my guy Juvie, that's here, they're always protecting me. He's from the Dominican. You know, anybody that knows anything about Big Papi will tell you what a wonderful, wonderful human being he is and how much he cares about folks there. And that's why I do think it was a beautiful, beautiful thing that the person, the assailant in all of this, the crowd that was there ultimately caught him and beat him down and held him until the authorities got there to take him to the hospital before ultimately being arrested. So, you know, there's a lot more love than hate in this world. Unfortunately, the hate that we see, unfortunately, definitely comes to the mind's eye because somehow, some way, we managed to experience that.
When I first heard about this early reporting and like rumors where it was he got shot in the leg, and I thought like a lot of people did, like, oh, okay, leg, he should be okay. Mm-hmm. And then you learn that it's affecting his kidneys, intestines, liver. Like, you know, let's see how, you know, knock wood, David Ortiz is okay and can live a productive, healthy life after this. But you imagine that he's going to have to suffer some real consequences of the behavior of this lunatic, you know, in an ongoing way. Two things you can say about someone in sports, right, that is like the highest compliment you can pay them on the field and off the field, are two things that apply to David Ortiz more than maybe any player of his era. Certainly no one has more of this stuff than he does. Let's talk about off the field first. Everyone loves David Ortiz. Wherever you go, you talk to people in the business, they love David Ortiz, the way he treats people. And on the field, David Ortiz was one of the greatest pressure players I've ever seen. He was clutch. And I can't think of, like, what more do you want if you're an athlete at that level? To be a champion because of what you got inside, because you're so clutch. You come through under pressure. And then off the field of play, to have a sterling reputation. And it's not just like he's respected. This guy is loved. Mm-hmm. And so we're all thinking about him and hoping Big Papi's okay.
No question. Devastating in his native country. All right, I'm going to make a hard transition because we are here, of course, for the NBA Finals, so we're going to discuss it. Game 5 is tonight. The Raptors have the chance to bring Canada their first chip ever. I do have some news on Kevin Durant. He's listed as questionable for the first time during these final series after practicing yesterday. Stephen A., let me ask you this. Do you think KD's injury takes away from the Raptors' accomplishments in these finals?
No, I don't. And I'm somebody that picked the Warriors to win this series. Obviously, I was wrong because I had them in 6. And now they might get bounced out at 5. So there goes that prediction. But I will tell you that when you look at what the Raptors have done in this series, you can't take away from what you've seen. Kawhi Leonard clearly is a superstar in this league. There is no doubt about that. But when you consider the way Lowry has played, the way Van Vliet has played, the way Siakam has played, obviously you take away his three-point shooting because it's about at 18%. But everything else he's done has been stellar. When you look at Ibaka, who's come off the bench, 6 blocks one game, 20 points another, and the level of production that you've gotten from them, then when you see their efforts collectively, defensively, how focused they are, how they play together, Nick Nurse and the adjustments, choosing, electing to take Van Vliet and insert him into the starting lineup for the second half of both games 3 and 4. You understand, because of what happened in game 2 and how the Golden State Warriors ran roughshod over them at the beginning of that third quarter with that 18-0 run in game 2. To make that adjustment from Danny Green to Van Vliet, you see the adjustments Nick Nurse has made. You're reminded of the multitude of starting lineups he threw out there this past season, his willingness to take chances, make adjustments, the way they play together. And then last but not least, for them to leave the court after sweeping the Warriors in Golden State. No smiles, no celebration, locked in, focused. It tells you they're locked in. They know what's going to be required. They know it ain't over till it's over. Mentally, emotionally, and the way that they've played, you simply cannot say enough about how the Toronto Raptors have played thus far.
Well, I predicted the Raptors to win this series in 6 games. And
feeling good about yourself?
Yeah, but of course, it takes away when KD's not playing because, guys, I wouldn't have picked them if KD was playing in this series. And it's no knock against your Raptors. I think very highly of them. It's a commentary on what happened when KD joined the Warriors. He joined a 73-win team that had just been in back-to-back finals and had lost 1 in the last possession of the fourth quarter in Game 7 at home. And KD joined that team. So basically the message KD and the Warriors sent is they believed that the only way they could ensure themselves championships is to make the game non-competitive. They put together a roster so devastating that they reduced the NBA to a non-competitive league once teams played the Warriors. So does it take away from, well, of course, because you guys weren't going to beat the Warriors if KD was healthy. But he wasn't healthy. And we knew that going into the series. And I'll tell you something else, which is important about your Kawhi Leonard. KD, with all the finals MVPs and people like Stephen A. Smith saying he's the best player in the world, the reason he can put up the numbers he does is, first of all, he's an all-time great, obviously. And second of all, you can't double KD. You cannot leave Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to double KD. What are you? That's a suicide mission. You can't do it. And so KD is facing single coverage and getting all these points. And offense is what he does. Kawhi Leonard just gave you, in the finals, in a pivotal game 4, 36-14 with 4 steals and no turnovers. And he faces 2 guys plus minimum every time he touches the ball. So I'm hoping KD plays tonight because I want to see the KD-Kawhi matchup one-on-one. But understand, once he comes back, the Warriors are a better team than you guys. They have too much talent. But you know what? Even if he does come back, you stake the Raptors to a 3-1 lead, you ain't winning this series, whether or not KD comes back. Kawhi's going to get him regardless.
All right, let's leave it on the note. The last time there has been a championship in Canada in any major sport, 1993. These folks know what's on the line tonight. Kawhi, 1 win away from bringing a championship to Canada. So find out why Kawhi may be the most important player to a fan base in all of sports. More First Take after the break.
First Take from Toronto. Is Kawhi Leonard the most important athlete to a fan base in all of sports? Plus, Toronto's own PK Subban will be here to talk Toronto's hoops fever. And how bad of a look is it if the Warriors actually get bounced out in the finals in 5 games? More First Take from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto after the break.